What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I need your attention for like 30 seconds before we get into this video. Just wanted to put this out here. So since I started this whole thing like 10 years ago, I've always wanted to have cool shirts, and I've had some shirts in the past, but nothing crazy, just a basic logo. But I've always wanted to have like sweet designs that I can sell you guys would like to buy, to wear. And I think I finally got one here, and it's related to this video. So check this out. I got some GTA vibes here, Middle Lake tuning. You know what? Give me a second. This will be better for you. Check this out. I got a couple laid out here on the table. Finally got some sweet shirts, guys. Got the Middle Lake tuning logo, Little Current, the city I'm from, GTA vibes, if you know what I mean. Me, the wife, my dog Jeffrey chilling in the Jetstar here, ripping under the Little Current bridge, helicopter chasing. I got them in black. I got them in gray. So if you want a shirt, just message me on my Facebook page. I'll show a picture of my Facebook page here. And I'll get you a shirt. They're 35 bucks Canadian a piece, 5 bucks Canadian to ship anywhere in Canada. If you're in the States, it's only an extra like few bucks or something for shipping, so no big deal. But just wanted to throw this out here before we got in this video. I'm pumped for these shirts, and I hope you guys like it too. And yeah, enjoy this video. This boat really fought me and made me struggle for like the last 3 months here, so I hope you enjoy the video, guys. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Working on the boat again today, so in this video we're going to be making this thing look nice because it looks kind of trashy right now. I've been sitting outside, it looks like, for a long time, so we're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff. As of now, I don't have that new carb yet that I mentioned I needed in the last video, but we're gonna be ripping this ridiculous tribal pinstripe decal thing off because I think that looks terrible. We're gonna be buffing and waxing the boat to try and bring this shine out a little better. It might not show up on video, but it's super dull. I started working on ripping out the old like rubber mat type flooring this guy put in here. So we're going to be doing some new EvaFoam flooring. We're going to be doing some new seat cushions and seats. And yeah, we'll see what else we get into on this. Lots to come in this, so stay tuned. I'm sure at the end of this video we'll do another drive test once I have that new carb on it, and we'll see if that cleans up how it runs a little bit. But yeah, for now I'm going to get started on taking that pinstripe off, and then we'll get to the EvaFoam flooring. Okay, it's now the next day. It literally took me the entire day, but I got all that flooring in. Looks much better. I also cut 3 pieces for here to follow the contour of this little indent, or whatever you want to call it here. This raised section, so it'll be 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece. And I'm also cutting a piece which I haven't done yet for like the step at the back. But that'll be all done today. But I don't want to put those pieces on yet because I want to buff this boat and buff the whole thing, so I want to buff it first before I put the stuff on. But until then, before I buff it, I think I'm going to start working on some foam for this engine base. So as you can see, the whole engine base just got foam around it, but someone spray painted it black. But it's supposed to have like a reflective, like a foil type insulation. Same with the lid. Someone put like, I don't even know, like, oh, there you go. Nice. Gross. Someone put some styrofoam in there, so we're going to be using that foam insulation in the lid as well, which should also cut down on some engine sound. All right, so it's the next day. I kind of got distracted there, but finished this lid off in this thick foam. I did the back wall on the same foam. I didn't want to use the thick stuff on the bottom because it would actually go up over the motor. I think it would look kind of stupid, so I used this thinner, I don't know, I'm kind of worried about it, but it's like insulated foil bubble wrap. We'll see what happens. I didn't put this back piece on yet. It's just loose because I'm going to wait till I get that carb in and pull the carb off, because this gap here between the air box and the carb is pretty tight. So I know it's going to be a pain to get the carbs off. I had to notch it for where the intake breather is here. So I'm going to not put this on until I get that new carb in, which has been shipped today. Once the carb's all done, everything's in, I'll put this on. All right, it's the weekend. My ADD hit, and I decided I had to start cutting and waxing this thing instead of finishing off that engine insulation. So it's hard to see now because there's no sun out, but it's starting to come out pretty good. At least it has a shine now. Didn't have anything before, and I figured I'd show this before I finish it. Here's a good example. So I just started doing the back of the boat. I guess it's hard to tell on the video, but that part's actually nice and glossy. See, like, where is it? Right there, how there's a line where this is dull and this is nice. I just buffed this bottom part of the boat. And obviously you can't tell over video, but this is nice and smooth. And this is like sandpaper, so it is definitely helping a lot. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see it from here. It's got a little bit of a shine there, and that's got 0. Anyways, I'm going to continue on with this. I'm assuming this is probably going to take, I don't know, probably the rest of the day just to do this, because I still got to wax it. I still got to do the inside too. The inside's gross, really dirty everywhere and stuff like that. So, but bear with me here. I'm going to get this done. I'll talk to you when she's all said and done. All right, so the next day I was right. Pretty much only got the buffing and waxing done yesterday, and then I went out on the jet ski today, so I basically burned all the time today. Idiot. But I think we got a few hours left in the day here, so I'm going to set the tent up. I don't know if this is going to come up on camera or not, but there you can kind of see a little bit of shine there. The buff and wax did pretty good. It's not perfect, but definitely much better. Actually has some kind of a shine to it now. So anyways, let me get my tent set up because it is ridiculously hot out here, and we'll see what we can get done today. So there it is with the engine cover on. I actually like the look of it. I think it looks good. Adds a little bit to it. Looks nice with the interior with that as well. One more update. So I've been trying to figure out a windshield for this thing, and I stumbled across a boat salvage yard, if you want to call it that, today, and ended up picking up this old school windshield off some old fiberglass boat. The width is correct. Now obviously it's way too tall, but the plan is, since the top is bent in the middle, I don't know if you can see that, the plan is take a, I don't know, I have to measure it, but 8 to 10 inch section out of the middle of it, so that'll be the total height. I'll have to see whatever looks good, but I will have to notch it to get over this hump, notch it over the center, notch it over the other end. But that is the plan. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it's the best idea I got right now. Well, it's the next weekend, but check this out. We got some parts in the mail. So we got a new starter solenoid to replace that giant weird one the guy had put on, previous owner. Some new carb gaskets. It's a little cover that goes over the flywheel, or clips into the flywheel cover on the engine. And most importantly, a brand new old stock Suzuki carburetor. So we're going to pull these carbs again, get these on, or get this guy on, double check, make sure the jetting's all the same. I might use the jets from the old carb, but we'll see. If they're the same jets, I'm going to obviously go with the new ones. If the jetting's different than what's in here, I'm going to use what's in the old carb. So, all right, bit of a mess here, but pulled the carbs off first. If I would have put that solenoid in, it would have made it hard to get the carbs out, so I decided to do the carbs. So here you can tell the difference right away. See how discolored this is, and hard to explain, but it's like literally, I showed in the last video. See that? Like the whole carb's like literally like disintegrating, falling apart. So here's the new one, brand new. It's actually the first ever time I've ever bought a brand new like OEM carb. I bought like a couple Chinese carbs in the past, which were junk. But anyways, I can't read the number off the jet here. This one's a 155. I'm just gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna throw the new one in, hope the jetting's bang on. It should be close regardless. So we're gonna throw that new one in, put it all together. I got to adjust all these linkages and stuff. So I'll do that, get this tossed back on the boat, and then we'll fire this thing again with this new carb, and we'll see how she idles. All right, just working on syncing these carbs up. I got the rack in here, so now this side, intake side, sync pretty good. Side that goes up against the engine, normally what I do, well, I haven't actually done this in years, but on the old Thundercats, when I used to do Thundercats, I'd always set the slides with a drill bit. So I can't read what size this is, it's so small, but the tip of this bit, just to say, I guess you can't see it, just to say fits under the slide. So I adjusted this linkage here. So this was about the same, so we're in the same spot. When it's wide open, this is perfectly centered in here. This one's actually slightly down, but it's so close. I'm fine with it. If I adjust it to compensate, then it throws off the idle setting, so we're okay there. I'm gonna throw a new gasket on here, and you know what, I might as well change this gasket too. It's fine, but I have a new one, so we'll throw a new one on there, and yeah, we'll toss this back on the boat. All right, so we got these carbs all mounted up, and we got to take them right back off, and I'm gonna bring this in the garage and show you why. carbs are back off again, and here's what I failed to realize. See these two holes, one here and one here? So that is where your throttle cable mounting plate adapts to. Two little screws mounted to there. See the difference? See this old carb? These holes are threaded. New carb, guess they don't come threaded. So we got to tap these holes. This is the correct tap for it. So I'm going to tap these holes, then we'll get it back on the boat. Slight misdirection here. New solenoid is in. Had to redo some of the wiring because it was real bad. Gave it a quick start check and it is good to go. So now we're moving on to the part that I'm most not looking forward to. That's cutting this windshield. All right, so here's the rough idea. This is our line of where we're going to cut, keeping this bottom half. This half is garbage. The sides, I kind of ran a piece of tape. And on this side, we're going to follow that to the edge. It's a little eyeball drywall there, but we're going to fire up the grinder and wish me luck. All right, it's the next day. After the last clip, I started working on a bit of the seat cushion, so that rounded off the rest of the day. But I've been working on the windshield this morning and pretty much got all the cuts made. Whoop. So I had to notch out the sides here. Yeah, I screwed that cut up. Kind of bummed out about that. But there's how it's going to sit. That's the final, all the final cuts. See, I notched the center out there. And then this side, screwed this cut up too. You know, I'm not good at these kind of things. I won't lie to you. So here's what I'm thinking for a bracket. So I'm going to have a piece of angle coming off here. I'll use these two holes on the sides to make a little bracket with one bolt in the middle, and same with the other side. I got the center bracket done. Sorry, it's a complete mess. I've pulled out every tool I own here. So this is the one that's going to sit on the hood. So it'll sit flat on the hood. This is going to slip in behind the windshield, and the bolts will go through the windshield in the front. So that one's done. Now I'm just working on making a couple for the sides. So like I said, it's going to be a single 3.5-inch piece. I'll probably taper the edges just to give it a nice look, and a bolt in the middle, and make two of those. And then we're going to have to sandblast these things, and I'm going to powder coat them white, I think. See, I got that white powder sitting up there. Yeah. Okay, so give me a lot of time because it's going to take a long time to do. By the time I set up the powder and everything, it's a real intensive process to set it all up. Okay, so we got all our brackets cut. Don't mind the noise, just the fan running there. Whenever I do a new color, I've never done white yet, I always bring a tester piece so I have a reference for next time. So there's our hood bracket for what's going to grab the windshield in the center, and these ended up being our little side brackets that are going to hit the windows, or the back of the windshield on the sides. So I'm just getting the powder coating set up here. I got all my white powder ready to go in this little bucket. So let's get some powder on this thing. Okay, got all the brackets powdered. I actually made a little boo-boo here. I don't know if you can see that. See that little spot there? Had it filled, and then a bunch of powder fell off. So I tried to fill it again, but no go. So we'll see how that comes out. I'm actually curious to see how it comes out once it gets cured on there, to see if it kind of goes away. I've never had one do that before. So we're just waiting for this to warm up. Got to get to about 375. So we're getting there, and we'll cook for 15 minutes. In the meantime, I'll clean this giant mess up everywhere. Okay, check this out. The brackets are done. So you can tell if you look close. Where is it? So you can kind of see a little divot I was talking about where the powder fell off. It's hard to tell actually, but you can see it. But these turned out really nice. All right, so after two pretty much entire days between last weekend and today, the windshield is finally done. So here's those brackets I made on the outsides, trimmed it on the bottom. I filled the holes. There was like pre-existing holes in the windshield for where it was mounted on the other boat. I filled those with the these little cap bolts that came out of the original stupid little windshield. Remember there was a little tiny windshield on here? Well, I took these out of that just to fill these holes. Yeah, I think it turned out good. I might still want to screw with this edge a bit. See, there's little spots like this. I might sand or something. But you know what? I'm happy with how it came out. Okay, it's another week later. I'm such a mess. I honestly, Nice. I forgot where we're at in this video. It's been like a month now. I've been working on this video. But anyway, the windshield's totally done. I think I showed that. Got all the mounts in and everything. It turned out really good. I've been contemplating putting a piece of black trim on top or not. I've asked a few buddies, and the general consensus is to just leave it without that. So that is the plan. For now, I'm trying to remove all these little fine scratches. I know the windshield looks really good on camera here, you can't tell, but it does have a ton of scratches in it. So I'm trying to remove that with a little headlight restoring kit I have, scratch removal compound. But the big news is to get this thing on the water tonight with that new carb. Topped it up with gas, and we're gonna see how this thing runs now with the new carb. Hopefully good. So the next video clip will probably be me trying to drive this on the water, but we'll see what happens. All right, just launched her in the water. The wife putting the dog in the boat there. We're a little late, so it's going to be a short ride, but you know, short ride better than no ride. Let's see what happens. Look at that guy in there. I don't know. Where'd he go? He's gone. All right, anyway, see you in a minute. All right. Had slight trouble at the boat launch. She didn't want to start, but it's working now. I want to check out this little quarry beach thing here, but so far so good. Dog's falling asleep. Got the old flag light, and it's getting chilly, so I'm going to put on my classic old school Auto Trader sweater, and I think we're going to head back here, but so far so good. Well, I'd consider that a success. She did good, ran all right. Yeah, bring this thing back to the house. It's getting dark, so we had to shut her down, but we're good. All the lights worked and everything, so not bad. All right, guys, it's been a few more weeks. This video has taken a really long time, but new speakers again. And now I'm currently, I should have recorded it before I did it, but ripping out all this mat that buddy put for the floor, or for the bottom and the back of the seat. It's all glued on, as you can see, so it's a real pain to scrape it all off. Been using a little scraper with a razor, but starting to work on seat covers. So I'm going to clean this all up, and then I'm going to show you what I got going on for seat covers. I only got one done so far, but I'll show you what I got. All right, bit of a mess in here. We've been going crazy on seats, so got all our foam pieces cut for everything, all the seats, except I haven't done the glove box yet. The glove box has a piece on it, but here's one of the pieces. Put a zipper on the back so you can remove the foam easily if needed, and turned out pretty good. So that's going to be a bottom piece. It's kind of all we got done so far, but there's the teal. Kind of shows up as bluey on camera here, but there's a teal. There's the pink, so that's what we're going for. It's going to be a ton of work, but on the camera, on this video, it'll be about 2 seconds. So see you in about 2 seconds when all this is done. All right, hopping up in the boat here. Put the first seat cushion down. Check that out. But it looks really good to me after seeing this thing with no seats. So the way these are put in, we're basically just copying the factory way the seats were put in. All they have is double-sided Velcros to the hull itself. So I'm going to put this piece in, and the other ones aren't made yet, but I'll snap to tomorrow when they're made, and I'll put in, and this is going to look awesome. Welcome to the bow of the boat. I haven't shown this, but I've been fighting a fuel delivery problem for days now. I'll post a video here of what it's doing. So long story short, you can go wide open, no problem, but only for about 30 seconds or so, and then it runs out of fuel. You can hear it surging like the bowls are emptying on the carbs. If you idle it for a bit, 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and then give her gas again wide open, you're good for a little bit again until it empties the bowls again. I've replaced the fuel pump, that's good. I didn't check the float height, but at one point this was fine. Like I've went on multiple rides or a couple rides with this already and never had a problem. So I want to say it's not float height. So now I've been laying in the bow trying to check things like the vent. You can't see anything under here. It's ridiculous to work under here, but this is the fuel tank here. And what I did notice is that, man, I'm having a hard time even holding the camera in here. Right there's the pickup. You see that? It's all full of silicone and gross stuff. I wonder if the gasket's gone on that pickup fitting and someone siliconed it in the past or something and it's sucking air. I don't know. Anyways, I'll keep fighting this. Okay, so that's the pickup tube from the tank. I can't pull it out of the tank because I found out that this is all rigged up. See all the silicone on there? Someone's been screwing around. It's not supposed to look like that. There's something in the tank stopping me from pulling that out, which sucks. Here's the outlet fitting, can't even think right now. The barb fitting outlet, that's your supply line to the tank. If you look closely, it's got a little ball inside, it's a little check valve. I've checked it and it's free, so that's good. So my next step here is to blow in the tank through that little orifice in there. See a little hole in there? Wow, the threads don't look good. Blow in that little orifice there and try to free anything that might be stuck in the line itself, the pickup tube that goes into the tank. So that's the next step. Okay, it's another day and we're going to be doing some more testing on this fuel system. I haven't showed a lot of it because it's just such a pain when you're on the water trying to troubleshoot this stuff. It's hard to film and troubleshoot at the same time, but got the last seat cushion. Well, not the last, still got this little one, but there it is. Awesome. So for troubleshooting this fuel system, here's what I'm going to do. Yesterday, I redid all the connection where that pickup tube goes in the tank. It was all siliconed and junk. I kind of had to put it back in a similar way with silicone and stuff, but it's a little better than it was. I blew out the pickup tube, so I blew into the tank with the air gun because I couldn't pull the pickup tube out of the tank, but I blew into it. I cleaned the little vent up in the ultrasonic cleaner really good. Personally, I don't think that's going to fix anything. So what I'm planning on is, you see I have this extra fuel line here. That runs out. I guess you got it coiled up in the other compartment here, but we're going to go out and we're going to test it. If it doesn't work and it's doing the same symptoms of running out of fuel, which I think it's going to do, I'm going to bring my VP race can here. It's jerry can because it's nice. It's got a nice opening. Of course, it's not loose right now. But anyways, long story short, I'm going to pull this hose out and I'm going to drop the other end of this blue fuel line into the tank. I'll have it probably sitting right here on this cardboard. And at least then I'll be able to tell, like, if it runs good with the jerry can, it running off the jerry can, then I know there's an issue on the fuel side somewhere, whether it's the tank, the pickup tube in the tank, the line that goes all the way around to the engine here, or if I run it off the jerry can and it still has the same symptoms, it leads me back to fuel pumps. So maybe this aftermarket fuel pump's just no good. I know a lot of guys run electric pumps on the forums. Maybe this is why. No, I shouldn't say a lot of guys, but some people do. Maybe that's why. Don't know, but at least I'll be able to somewhat narrow down whether it's pump side, engine side, or if it's a tank issue or a supply from the tank issue. So that's what we're trying to do. So let's hook this thing up and let's get this thing on the water and yeah, deal with the struggle, I guess. At least now I can deal with the struggle in comfort. Anyways, see you on the water. Well, I've been at the launch here for about 15 minutes. Boat was cranking, wouldn't start, and changed the plugs, and now it won't crank or do anything. I got no power to nothing. No power. Nice. Played with the key about 200 times, and now all of a sudden it's running now, fired up really good as soon as I put new plugs in it. So I don't know. Let me run this for a little bit. It normally takes a couple of minutes before it starts having the fuel issue. I'll show you a video when it does it. And then from there we'll assess. I'll probably have to come back to the dock here, and then we'll put our line in the jerry can, and we'll go from there. But for now, we'll cruise around for a little bit before it screws up. Maybe we'll put some AC/DC on or something. I don't know. All right, it's hard to hear, but it's starting to miss. Hear that? So it's running out of fuel, but watch this. Bring it to an idle. Hear how the idle's screwed up? Give it a second, it'll clear up once it starts pulling enough fuel. Hear that? So the idle's back now. If I let this idle for for, you know, 30 seconds or something, and then I do another wide open pull or heavy throttle pull, it's fine for like a minute, and then it'll do that surging again. So I'm gonna go all the way back to the docks I just left to now run the line into the jerry can, and we'll see what happens there. I don't know. I'm a little worried about that because I don't have the primer ball on it, and it's gonna fire up. I know it will. It'll fire up on the gas it has in the bowls. Maybe I'll run it in like just slightly reverse so I'm not moving too far, because it's gonna take a bit to suck the fuel all the way through that line before it gets to the engine from that jug. So I don't want to be stranded out in the middle of nowhere while it's trying to suck fuel from this line. But anyways, I'll head back to the dock and we'll figure this out. All right, guys, check this out. Oh, almost lost her, boys. Almost lost her. Give me a second. I'm falling like an idiot here. But oh, great. That's awesome. Just put the line in the water. Give me a minute. Idiot. You know, sometimes when you're recording videos, you know, it makes it hard. You're trying to do things with your camera, but you need two hands. Then you drop your new fuel line in the lake. Anyways, I tried to dry it off as much as I can here. So I put this bolt here so the line can't go to the very bottom of the tank and suck the bottom and not be able to pull any fuel. So put that in there. Might have to turn this so we get a little more line. There we go. It's pretty far in there. And now this goes, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to lift the lid here because of this line, kind of directly to the pump. So I'm gonna try to sit here, and it doesn't have neutral, which unfortunately, so I'm gonna try and just idle it in forward and reverse to the dock for a little while until I know that it's pulling fuel through that line, and then we'll go test her. Well, I've tried multiple times. I've siphoned this with the other end, sucking on it, mouth full of gas a bunch of times, and it will not pull fuel from the tank. I even tried raising this above and pulling a siphon with my mouth, still won't do it. What I need to do is hook it up to the primer ball, but the primer ball's got a huge barb fitting on this side, so the line will not fit on it. So I can't get the line primed, and it doesn't seem like it's not willing to pull the fuel either. Try to stoke here. No, won't do it. Wouldn't run on the spare tank or the jerry can. I didn't have it hooked up to the primer ball, which might be part of the problem, but I also even raised the can above it and sucked on the hose to pull a siphon so it had fuel, and this was sitting on top. Still wouldn't run. Crank, wouldn't run. So I hooked the normal fuel line up back to the original tank that we were driving on earlier, the boat's fuel tank, because I was like, oh, at least I'm out here, I'll go for a little ride anyways, go for another half hour. And it wouldn't start, never start again. Pull the plugs, wouldn't start. So this thing just basically hates me. So I kind of figured out nothing really. Maybe I'll go buy a new primer ball. Well, this one actually seems newer, to be honest, but maybe I'll go buy a new primer ball, one with the right size fitting, so I can go to that jerry can, because I couldn't put this line to the jerry can on this side of the ball because it's got a massive fitting. So maybe that's what I'll do. All right, check this out. Picked up a small primer ball. This is for our jerry can running into the can. There's no reason why. Let me see here. This shouldn't work. Come on. I say that and then let me see here. See if there's any gas dropping in from the top. Okay, what's going on here? Well, let's see if we'll fire it up. I want to see that filter either empty out if this isn't working. Let me see here. That's running on one cylinder. I seen the filter empty out. Okay, that's good. Let's see if we can prime it now. Why does this not want to prime? I don't understand. All right, I can't even make this up. That new primer ball I threw in the garage doesn't work. Brand new, doesn't work. But I ended up finding bigger line. I had some here I didn't realize. I should have just did this yesterday, but I had the bigger line that fits the original primer ball. So I ran that to the can, and it primed good, and I ran it for a couple seconds and it seems fine. So we're gonna take off again, probably duct tape this down so it doesn't fly open on the highway. I'm at a loss, man. I was stuck at the bolt launch for a bit. It ran off the tank with the old primer ball until it ran out of fuel in the bowls of the carbs, I assume. I reprimed it, no problem, filled the fuel filter, ran again for a few minutes, died again. Will not pull fuel from the jerry can. I have no idea why. I don't understand at all. It can prime it, ball gets hard, it'll run, but if I don't keep priming the ball, it won't pull fuel. I don't know. But what also makes even less sense is I've been driving around for 5 minutes now and it hasn't screwed up yet. I don't know. I'm gonna drive it for a little bit first, but I'm thinking my next step would be take the anti-siphon valve off the tank, just run a regular hose barb, because that could be a slight restriction. And I'd like to change the line from the tank to the pump. No real reason, just that it's old. But anyways, I'm gonna cruise around here for a little and we'll see what happens. It's been like 10 minutes, I don't know, it's still running fine. I don't understand. I actually did run out of gas and had to add gas. I was worried, but it hasn't done the fuel, you know, running out of fuel issue. I don't understand, but I think I'm gonna bring her back to the dock because we're gonna run out of gas again. All right, guys, another day. Just drilled a new hole in the tank for this. So this is gonna be our new pickup tube. So it's gonna sit in the tank. I measured the depth of the tank, and this should be about an inch and a half from the bottom, so it won't suck up all the stuff from the bottom. It's got this nice little screen on the pickup too, so I'm gonna go put this in the bow of the tank, and then I'll show you what it looks like installed. I've already run a whole chunk of this blue fuel line 1/4 inch all the way from where it's gonna go on here up to the engine bay. So I'll go slap this in and see what happens. All right, I'm back in the bow here. This is weird. Yeah, so as you can see, this fitting closest to the camera is the old fitting with the line running out. I left it in place because there's no real need to remove it. And this one here with our blue line is our new fitting. So new pickup tube, new fitting. Blue fuel line runs all the way up. It goes up through here, all the way down the side of the boat. I can't record it, but anyways, all the way to the engine. So at least we know now that our pickup tube is good, not clogged, new line. So supply from the tank should be verified good now with this new setup. So at least we know now that if the problem persists, I don't think it's going to be on this end because everything's new and good. All right, new line's all in, her primer assembly. Had to use a, I guess hard to see, but I had to put a couple barb fittings to reduce from this 3/8 line to 1/4 inch. Funny story, I tried using that 1/4 inch primer again. Remember that brand new one I bought? That didn't work. Well, turns out I'm a bit of a dummy, but it's only partially my fault. It does work, it's directional, but didn't have an arrow on it. I had it the wrong way. So I tested it with the jerry can and it was able to pull fuel out and push it back in. So I did all this stuff, put all the lines on here with all 1/4 inch stuff with that primer ball. Wouldn't pull fuel from the tank again, got played again. So I ended up putting this on and primer ball gets hard. That works good. Already fired it and it fired up good, but just for video's sake, we'll do it again. Let's see here. Runs good, but here's the problem. I was gonna go try this out, but I guess you can't tell on video, but it's like a tornado here and it's mega windy. There's no way I'll be able to take this out in the big water, so I have to wait for another day to test. I got 2 pinstripes that I want to put down the bottom of the boat here, just above the rub rail. I've got some thinner insulation that'll fit in spots like here where I didn't want it too close to the intake, but it's thin stuff so I can finish it there. And then all around the water box here where I couldn't fit the thick stuff, I'm gonna put some thin sound deadening insulation. Honestly, after that and the pinstripes, I think we're done. But yeah, let me work on this insulation. And the next time the camera comes on, I'm assuming I'll probably be on the water testing this, which will be another day. But see you when I'm on the water. All right, she's running. I've learned I've learned to leave it at the launch for a few minutes idling before I take off, because sometimes it'll burn just what's in the carbs and then die, and it takes a few minutes to do that. So I'm gonna give this another minute and then I'll take off and we'll see what's going on. But so far it looks good. I checked the fuel filter. It's already been running for a couple minutes. I checked the fuel filter and it's full. So that's a good sign. It's never been full even since the start. It's normally half full or something, but I'm also only idling it as well. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna give it another minute and then I'm gonna take off, and fingers crossed that our fuel issue is resolved.
Oh, yep.
Let me slow down here. See if it goes back to an idle good. Yep. Oh, can't get that copyright strike. It's been going good. I think it might be fixed. I'm gonna screw around for another 20-30 minutes. I'll go back closer to the launch so I can do a bunch of wide open stuff, but I've been cruising around a lot at 3/4 throttle, and it couldn't do that before. So we might have rectified it there. It might have been something to do with the line from the tank collapsing or something, because it's old and soft, or the pickup tube in the tank, the old one. Maybe there was a bunch of junk in the filter on it. I don't know. I couldn't get it out. So far it's looking good. I'm gonna go back towards the boat launch, and then I'm just gonna do a bunch of circles a million times to make sure it's good. But I think we got her. I think. I don't want to say for sure yet. I don't want to jinx it, but I think we got it. All right, I think we got this, which is awesome. So keep in mind, before you'd get like a minute, sometimes 2 minutes of wide open or anything over half throttle. That's all you get. And then it would start having that surging issue. I know I'm repeating this a lot, but so see that island there, right at the point? I just came from that point all the way around, probably about over there. Came all the way around that point, all the way to here, which is probably a good 5, 6, 7 minutes of driving, something like that. And it was 3/4, 7/8 throttle the whole way, and it never screwed up. So I think we got this. Thank God. I'm gonna screw around here a little bit more, and then I'm gonna load it up and head her home. We got a couple more things to do to this, and then she's done. So I'm happy, I'm pumped. I was worried it was still gonna do it. I had a feeling it was still gonna do it. So I'm happy to see that it appears to be rectified so far. All right, back at the dock here, and check that out. See that full? That's a win. It's never been full before. It's always half full, 1/4 full. That thing's never been full. There must have been something wrong with that pickup tube or the fuel line itself, the old one. Restriction or sucking close when it's under demand. I don't know, but I think we got her, guys. All right, it's a couple days later, and after that last successful run, me and the wife are gonna go out and take this thing for a little trip. She's been wanting to go out on it, and kind of just been waiting for it to be running good. But I think we're there now. I'm pretty pumped. She's pretty much all done, minus the little pinstripe that I'm gonna put down the side. I'll get that on before the end of this video. But yeah, time to go take her out, bring the dog, go for a little cruise, and hope for the best. Overall success. It had issues again at the start, wanting to not suck fuel and stuff, but I think it's because I don't have a check valve in this line. So when you first start it, it takes a bit to get all the air out of the line. So I think in the future I'll just idle it for a good 5 minutes before I take off, or a few minutes anyways. After I idled it and drove it around for a couple minutes, it started running just fine, and we just drove it for about hour-ish, and it did good. It's running good. I like this little thing. So I'm gonna load this thing up, and then we gotta do pinstripes on it. Other than that, I think we're pretty much done after that. Had a good little cruise on the water here. Successful. Well, probably the last ride of the season, but check this out. Got a gauge straight from China, a new tack, already condensation in it for some reason. Yeah, things are looking good here. Boat's running good. We're cruising around this lake. Never been on this one before. This is Lake Kagawan. So we're gonna cruise around for a little bit, bring this thing home, and yeah, so far, pretty good. Nice day, not too much chop. Jeffrey, come on, bud. Jeffrey's not sure if he likes the boat or not. All right, check this out. Got the old pinstripe on. Went with purple and teal, and then as I was doing it, I went, man, I really dropped the ball here. I should have did purple, pink, and teal and stacked the pinstripes just like the interior, but you know, didn't think of that. But oh well, it's got a little something now. So that's pretty much it, though, guys. That wraps up the jet boat for this year anyways. Only thing that I think I want to do next year is possibly some other kind of decal down the hood here, maybe in the center section. I'm not sure. But I think that's all she wrote for this girl. As you'll notice too, got it on a new trailer, got rid of the old one, didn't really fit the boat right. Got my Chevy back, even though I didn't mention that. But anyways, yeah, that's it for this one. Turned out good, pretty happy. It was a lot of work. I can't believe how long this took. Literally took me the whole summer to do this thing. I thought this was going to be a couple weekend job, and no, this is like a full summer deal. But yeah, turned out awesome. I love it. All right, guys, it's been a blast. I appreciate you watching this far. If you're still watching, stay tuned for more. Let me know if you like this thing. Let me know if you don't like boats. But for now, I'm going to enjoy the last ride of the season here. Check this out. Look how calm this is. Out of the water. Awesome. Friggin' awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next video. Hey! Subscribe to the channel.